All right. A blessed evening to all of you.
Yeah,
I
Doctor.
think a lot more people are supposed to come. Very slowly they will come, I suppose. But anyway, it doesn't matter. For me, even if one person is there, I will go ahead because that's the principle of my life. And I respect the people, whoever comes here and who are here. I appreciate that they are here for a purpose. And I believe that today it was my learning experience that I'm completing my 99th episode, and I definitely wish to thank all the Terahertz members. But because of them, we are all here. Number one, number two, the company by itself, because of it, which brought this new technology, and we have been with the company for almost 3 years now. That's another wonderful journey I have been going through. Then, of course, the leaders from George to Gigi to a lot of people down there who all have been instrument in this beautiful journey of path. So thank you very much. And going with this the 99th episode of the water portal, very basically, if you look at the water portal, means it's basically a funnel-like thing where the water goes inside, and then we all utilize that facility of the water. So basically, we are talking about the water portal, which plays a very, very important role in every one of our life. So in that way, let's move on, and ultimately, what will happen is we all need to understand the basic concept of the water, which is very important. I think Ricky told it's one of the important elixir of life, but it is the least looked into elixir for wellness and health. Now, why does that happen is because many times in our human life, we all take things for granted. That's the reason everything goes a little heavy, and we all become awakened only when things go wrong, and then when we start facing some diseases, and especially when a disease like cancer comes in, that's when we all are much more awakened. Now, when you look at the creation, just go behind billion years, 3 to 4 billion years before, when this whole planet Earth was created, what was the first elixir created by the Creator? And before no, the living beings were started coming out, and the first thing, of course, it all started with the water, and then only the land, and then slowly animals, then the mammals, then slowly we human beings evolved. Like the Darwin's theory, what he was telling is we all came from the monkeys. And of course, over a million of years, there were a lot of been changes happening, and then that's how today we are all the most intelligent being, and that's something very good on one side. But on the other side, if you see, we as human beings are also destroyers of this beautiful planet Earth. We are actually creating a situation where in the future we definitely would face a lot of issues with water and with the energies, with food supplies. Everything will be a problem. Why? Because we have been living a very, very apathetic lifestyle, and then we have become so selfish in our journey that we just look into our own path of life. And in selfish, I would just give you an example. Like, if there is going to be a deficiency, or probably there's going to be a lack of a particular item, maybe we can call it as wheat or bread, the same day you will see that people will rush to either 99 market to all the supermarkets, and they will buy all minimum 20-30 breads, and to me whatever they want they will pick it up and they will just go. That's how I see in Malaysia a lot of people do that. Even if there is a petrol hike also, what we do is we think that just going filling up the full tank of petrol for one day is going to save some $1 million. I don't know why we all do that, but that's the way we are all living on planet Earth. But I think we definitely need to look into a little different, start doing things which is very, very important for the cohabitation of this planet Earth, where every living being has to definitely live on this planet Earth, and water being a very, very important ingredient, and it is necessary for the survival of all the living beings, be it amoeba, be it a mosquito, be it a lion, a tiger, a human being. Now, everybody needs water. Without water, definitely no creatures can live for more than how many days? It's minimum 3 days, but sometimes we can go up to 7 days. Now, when you see here the number 3 minutes without oxygen, definitely we will die. And 3 days without water, also things will go wrong because your kidneys starts failing. But from 3 we can maximum prolong is around 6 days we can go without water. But even one day you try not drinking water and see by evening your urine will be so concentrated, it will be burning for you. Just one day only. So imagine the third day and all, definitely your body will not be able to handle it and then move forward. And of course, when you look at the homeostasis, what is this homeostasis is, see, whether you like it or not, most of the time our human body goes on sending signals and perceiving signals from the environment and then tries to balance it. If the environment outside, for example, it's very cold, now what happens is the moment it is cold, your body will start, basically shrinking all the vessels so that it doesn't, the feeling cold will not go inside your body. That means it's a protective mechanism of your body wherein it protects you from the cold. But if the same time, if it is very hot, automatically there is vasodilatation so that all the heat is let out. So like this, what is happening is this homeostasis is something your body is going on adapting to the environment. Now, when the body is adapting to the environment, the question here is, are you doing the same? Are you adapting to the environment consciously? Are you doing it? I would definitely say most of the human beings, we don't. Just imagine if the climate is hot, we go on complaining, saying that it's so hot, cannot live. But at least you have an aircon for you to switch on, then change the temperature. But just imagine the animals outside there, the birds outside there. Of course, the heat is high. So what do they do? Where will they go and complain? They are not going to complain. They adapt to the environment. So this homeostasis also happens every 3 months. That's where in our epigenetic practice, what we do is we check our clients every 3 months. We let them know that there is a changes happening, and be it the vitamins, be it the poison inside the body, we would check every 3 months and see how much is the changes happening, and then what exactly is your body speaking to us. This is what is all homeostasis all about. It's basically making your body adaptable to the environment. So for us to know how you are going to get adapted, the only way to first is check your body. You need to check your body at the cellular level. Then only you will be able to understand what is necessary for the body you're going to give. But just imagine most of us, I would say 80% of the human beings living on this earth, what do we do? Early morning when you get up, you need to eat a breakfast. Afternoon, exactly what 12 o'clock, you need to eat your lunch. And night, dinner. And before dinner also, evening tea time. Now, this has become a routine for us. We are just bombarding with food inside. And then finally, when you're in the 50s and 60s, we become like a saint, and then we start telling, okay, now I'm going to reduce, I'm going to go for a gym, I'm going to go for exercise, I'm going to go for yoga, and I'm not going to eat rice now, I'm not going to eat. See, what you need to practice is right from childhood, there are certain things we need to start practicing. You should know to eat in moderation. You need to eat in moderation. It's not that you're not supposed to eat 3 times a day. It's okay, you can. But at the end of the day, you should eat what your body needs. This is what we call it as homeostasis. Your body, when it feels hungry, we eat. When you feel sleepy, go and sleep. When you're supposed to wake up in the morning, wake up in the morning. This is what we need to do when the body needs to be kept in the alignment with the universe or the external world. Now, saying that, when you're looking at our planet Earth, our planet was a true ocean. That means there was no living. How many years ago? 3 billion years ago. There was only ocean, nothing else. So that's why even now, if you see our Earth, 2/3 of it is water. Now, when the creation came in, also, there are a lot of things like 70% around the world, our planet Earth is water, right? The same way, 70% of our body also has definitely water inside. Now, when you look at this, there is a lot of similarity between the external environment and the internal environment. The only difference and the only thing what we don't understand is we have been tuned in our brain and our mind that there are certain things we would have created. You should do this, you should do this, you should do this. So what is happening is we have been conditioned our mind with whatever our society, our parents, our environmental surroundings, schooling, everything. We are we are actually following what they teach us actually. We don't follow what the nature is teaching us. If you think what nature is teaching us, you just see the birds. What do? They wake up in the morning, whether you like it or not. Before the sunrise, 5:30, 6 o'clock, you see all the birds will start flying. It will go out. Now, where do they go? They are not going to work anywhere. What do? They just fly all the way, probably eat, and then fly back to their nest. Now, imagine how can they fly back? They don't have a GPS system, looking at a GPS and then, going to the same route and coming back in the same route. No, right? But how is that they are able to? They all follow the magnetic lines, which their nostrils inside is there is a something called like a GPS system is there inside. Now that is what is there in every living being, including us. Even we do have that compass inside our nose. But what is happening? Do we recognize that? Do we know which side are we going? The north side or but for us, we should see the east side means then we know the sun rising side, that is what is the east. We all have to. Why? Because we all lost our basic senses, which is very predominant in the animal kingdom. We have lost it, and we are totally gone into a illusionary world of living, and then we are thinking that everything is beautiful outside, but at the end of the day, we all are going against the nature. Now, anything going against the nature, definitely you will not be able to balance. You will not be able to live in peace. Your body will not be able to adapt to the situation. Now, many times you would have seen a lot of people quite healthy. They have been eating, they have been regularly going for exercise. They do everything, but at the end of the day, 50 plus, suddenly they will say, doctor will tell you, you have cancer. And now after the vaccination also, you would see a lot of people are going through some difficult times with new problems. It can be right from heart attack to all the other problems we are facing. But here also, it's okay now that even I have taken the injection, even I did go through a lot of muscle ache and all these were happening. But what I did, I understood my body. What I did, I had to compensate with what it needs. So after the checking of the cellular, I just compensated it, and you won't believe it took 3 to 6 months time. Now everything is clear. I'm okay. So like that, you definitely need to understand your body and then give what it needs. Definitely you will recover from any situation, because there are certain situations which you and I cannot avoid it. The vaccination was something you and I couldn't avoid it. We had to. And especially if you're going international travel, you definitely needed the vaccination. But now, what is happening? There are certain issues which we are all facing. It's okay. We can actually our body is so beautiful. Our body can compensate and then recoup back. This is the most beautiful part of our body. Now, saying that, this is a beautiful cycle of water. Of course, from the mountains, from the ice and the glaciers, the water drips down, then it becomes a river, then comes down as it goes along, then finally it goes and reaches the sea. And from there, once again, the water gets evaporated into the clouds. Once again, it comes back, condenses, and then comes back as rain. Now, this is a cycle which is going on. Can anybody stop this cycle? We cannot stop the cycle. Now, in the same way, if you see, can we stop the birth of new babies on this planet Earth? We cannot do it. You may decide, I don't want a child, but fine. But on the other side, people will be producing. Now, can we prevent death? Definitely, we cannot prevent death. So the cycle of birth and death will go on. You and I cannot prevent it. But you and I are all born as a human being. What is so beautiful about it? Of course, when you look at the animals, when you look at the other birds and other mammals in the animal kingdom, we are definitely much intelligent enough to understand what we need to do, and we need to balance our life. This is what is very, very important. And we all have to cohabitate. See, we might be born a Chinese or an Indian or an American. It doesn't matter, but we all are human beings. At the end of the day, we all are human beings. It boils down to human being. So what do? We need to cohabitate in whatever little beautiful ways we can help each other, and start moving forward in our journey of life, so that we should be able to complete our journey. See, now the ultimately what is the situation is, we all will die one day, and we all have to live until we die. That particular day, until it comes, we still have to live. We still have to earn money. We still have to work. We still have to drink water. We still have to eat food. All this, there is no excuses. We still have to do it until the day of time which says, okay, now your time has come, leave the body. So that's when your soul leaves your body and goes off. But there is a cycle. This is a cycle going on and on and on for the millions of years it's been happening. So when you're talking about water also, it has a cycle. So when we are talking about the cycle, you see here, this is the place, this particular river Ganges, if you look at the thing there, the glacier you see on top. Now, this is the starting point of our Ganges River. Now, you know how many thousands of kilometers it travels and then joins the sea. Now, this is what a river does. The same way you as a human being, we are also born in a particular place, and then we live for 70 years or 80 years or 100 years. As we go along, what do? The same water, when you look at the river, as it goes on its way, it feeds a lot of animals. It feeds human beings. It feeds a lot of plants. So like that, when you see, the water is helpful for every living being under the sun. On the way it helps, but final journey, the river doesn't stop in between. We as human beings are the one, we are stopping the river and then constructing a dam. You know why? We want the water. And in fact, we are the ones who are polluting the rivers. Animals don't do the pollution. It's only the human beings. We build a factory nearby the riverside, and then we put all the sludge and the effluents into the river, and we make it dirty. It's we who are doing it. But at the end of the day, when you look at a river, when it starts, it's very pure and clean, crystal clean. When you drink the water, I think I did show the video 2 weeks ago. Can you see the crystal clarity of that beautiful water? It was so clear. Now, we as human beings, when we are born also, our thought patterns, our energies, our insight system, all beautifully clean and vibrant. But as we go along, of course, we do face situations where we get dirty. That means our mind gets dirty. Our mind gets polluted. All this will happen. But at the end of the day, what you need to do is, we as human beings, we need to collect the right information from the environment, and then we implement it to our own self. Whatever best possible, try to accommodate to that good things and start walking in your life. This is what we need to do. Whether we like it or not, we may get contaminated by the information from outside, but it's you who have all the rights for you to, what I would say is, filter the information, what you're going to take, what you're not going to take. So you decide about it. So just like the river, like the water, it feeds so many living beings. So in the same way, you and I also can do a lot of good things on life. As we travel, do the good things, spread the good things. Like now, Terra Water is there. If there is a lot of good things about it, speak to the people, help people, and then start moving forward. We need to do that. And when we say that, ultimately, when you see this beautiful, the river finally joining the sea, you can see such a beautiful, see how many tributaries are there for one river, and it gets split and then it goes into the sea there. The same way we human beings, we are also, we have a point A is when we are born, and point B is when we die. So when you look at that, our life journey, in between that whole beautiful journey is what we all live. It's something called life. This is what is life all about. In that life, what do we do? What do you want to do? You do whatever comes across in your path of life. See, as of today, let's be a little frank. Today, on this day of 13th of August, my 99th episode, I am speaking here. That's a fact of life. It's truth. We are here. But tomorrow morning, whether I'm going to be awake and then wake up or not, I do not know. Whether I'm going to be alive or not, I do not know. We do not know. This is the reality of life. Many of us, I always will give this example, like people on this planet Earth, the number of people dying every day is around 147,000 every day dying. But people being born is almost 300,000, is double that. But people are dying. Now just imagine that 140,000 people, when they go to sleep, definitely they would have thought, okay, tomorrow morning I'm going to do this. Tomorrow morning I'm going to fly here. Tomorrow morning I'm going to buy this building. Tomorrow morning I'm going to buy this brand new car. All this they would have thought. But the next day morning they are no more there. This is the reality of life. So when this reality of life is the fact of life is what you and I are seeing, we definitely need to understand that life is very short. It doesn't, you may say, I lived for 70 years. The question is, you can live for 70 years. What did you do? How much did you understand this universe? How much did you understand this environment? How much do you understand your own body? Do you speak to your body? Do you understand your body? All this, we don't even look into it. Why? Because we're always looking outside thinking that, oh, I need to go and work here, I need to build a house, I need to do this, I need to get married, I need to produce a child. All this, I don't deny that it is a part and parcel of life, but still, how much do you understand the life by itself, and then how much are you working towards upgrading yourself, your knowledge? How much are you? When you look like that, definitely there are a lot of things you need to work on. So when you have to work on, you need to read. If you have to read, definitely you need to scroll the books or maybe internet to pick up the information. But today, our electronic social media and our artificial intelligence has gone to such a high level where you just type one word and ask, I need more information. Can you believe it picks up the information instantly? The chat GP instantly, it gives you an information of almost an A4 size page, Just one thing you ask, it will give you the whole information. Now, the question is, we can get the information, but how are you going to implement that in your life? This is where I would say you need to have a practical approach towards everything in life. You need to be very, very practical in life. Be clear in what, understand the truth of life. Very, very important. Understand the truth of life. Understand the very, very basic nature of this universe. It's all very simple. It's not too complicated as people think. Life is not at all too complicated. It's the most easiest thing to do on earth is live on planet Earth, provided we blend ourselves with the surroundings and the environment. And we have to be very humble and humane, basically. Humble and humane. These qualities are very, very important for us to live on planet. The moment we start living on, see, basically on the right side, what you're seeing is a coffin, right? See, a person who might be a billionaire or a millionaire or whatever it is, or driving a big, big cars, at the end of the day, he goes into the box. Now, worst come worst, a box can be bought at around 1,000 ringgits, 10,000 ringgits, 30,000 ringgits, 40,000 ringgits. Even if you get the best sandalwood coffin also, it's still a box. And what happens? The body goes into the box, and then ultimately either you go into the cemetery or you go into the soil down there, you're buried. That's it. And after that, what happens? Of course, there are a lot of organisms waiting for it to be eaten. The body gets eaten up by the worms and the other flies and other things. It starts eating your body. So what's the big deal of being a human being? When we are as a human being, we beautify ourselves and do so many things, but at the end of the day, our body rots. That means it definitely has a process. This is the reality of life, but it's all fine. Now, we definitely need to live our life to the fullest of the possible and to the best of our abilities. Give the best to your body. You need to do that. Now, when I say that, definitely drinking water, that plays a very, very important situation where the portal for our body is our mouth. Through the mouth only you drink the water. That's why the water portal begins at your mouth. So very beautifully, what happens? God created this. Now, other than this, when you take bath, also the water can get absorbed. And especially if you're talking about terahertz water, you're going to spray on your body, it will get absorbed. Especially you try spraying on your face, within the next 5-10 minutes, it will get absorbed. That is hydration of the skin. But it is not sufficient enough for it to hydrate your body. So what you need to do, you definitely need to drink water. Now, other than this, of course, there are a lot of other methods wherein you can go into a bathtub, you go inside that. There are also, you definitely will, and people will tell you to put a little bit of salt. You have all the sea salts and all, and then put it inside and then go sit inside. The water gets absorbed much more easily. Now, drinking water, the portal is your mouth. Now, after drinking, what happens? If you understand that in our body, our brain has 70% or 75% of water, blood contains around 83% of water, heart contains around 79% of water, bones contain 22%, muscles has almost 75%, and liver 85, kidneys, except the bone, because bone cannot hold too much of water. All the other system you see is all above 70 only. Is majority 70% and above water in every organ of your body. Now, here what is happening is we all need to understand that every drop of water counts. Even though we are surrounded by the sea, how much is it? 2/3 of it. We still have lack of drinking water for many human beings. And there is a lack there. Why? Because we cannot drink salt water directly. It's very poisonous and it will create a lot of problem. You go on drinking salt directly, the sea water, you will die actually. Because too much of salt also will go inside your cell and then make your cells swollen. So that also is a problem. So what we need to do, water intake is very important. So what we all have to do is, for now, I always recommend you add a little bit pinch of bamboo salt, add to it and then drink. So like this, when you do, why we recommend this is, see, especially if you're drinking a normal water, it's not terahertz water, like such of those who are using terahertz water, then it's easy. And then along with terahertz water, if you're going to use a pinch of bamboo salt, the absorption will be hastened. But here you may have a question, doctor, I'm already having a blood pressure, then do I need to take salt? Definitely, I would say you need to take salt, but which salt is only bamboo salt? You can only take bamboo salt if at all you're talking about blood pressure. Because bamboo salt is a medicinal salt. If it is a high blood pressure, it will balance it down. If it is a low pressure, it will push it up. So the benefit is there when you're talking about bamboo salt. But if you're talking about the normal white salt, definitely no, you cannot take that. That is why it is anything white is very poisonous, they say. And of course, when you're looking at that white salt, that's why it is very cheap. It's almost 60 cents to 1 ringgit is for 1 kg of white rock salt. So that is not at all a very good supportive tool for your. But a lot of people are still using it for cooking and all. It's still okay, but I would say go for the Himalayan salt. Is still a little on the higher side, is still better. And there is another salt called Celtic salt. It's from France actually. And that is another salt also, which is very good for you all. You can actually add a little bit. It enhances your taste of your food also. And I have tried it. So very important is in our body, for us to move forward, is you need water for us to carry the oxygen, carry your food nutrients. We need to definitely drink water. Now, saying that, when you look at the system, there are the journey of the water goes through so many channels and portals and finally gets cleared up. So you drink 1 liter of water, what happens? It goes inside, as you're seeing there in the diagram here. It goes to your stomach, gets absorbed, and then comes into the system, and then goes into the blood, and then once it goes into the kidneys, what the kidneys will do, it will filter up. Now, if there are some salts and things which is supposed to be filtered, the kidney will do all that job and then slowly push the urine out. But if you're not going to drink sufficient amount of water, that means your urine will get concentrated. If you're not going to drink sufficient amount of water for some time, maybe 3 months to 6 months, without your knowledge, all this is happening without your knowledge, you will one fine day have a severe stomach pain, and then you go to the hospital and the doctor will tell you it's a kidney stone. Now, why does it happen? Because in your natural cellular metabolism, there is something called uric acid, which is produced in the cell. Now, that is naturally producing. There is a situation where, because of your food habits also, uric acid is produced. So that means there is a double-edged weapon. One is the cell which is bringing out the uric acid. Another one is because of your food, there is another uric acid. So if you're going to check the uric acid for 10 people, I would say 7 to 8 people will have high uric acid. This is what is happening. But what happens is when you have a uric acid high, many a times you just will go to a doctor and tell the doctor, hey, doctor, I'm having a little foot pain. Most of the time, foot pain or unexplained shoulder pain or muscle pain or knee joint pain. All this is because of the uric acid crystals. But of course, when you check your uric acid and if it's normal, then there are other reasons we need to look at. But other than that, what happens is whenever you drink water, the water leaves the body in 4 different ways. That means there are 4 portals for it to leave the body. So one is your kidneys, number 2 is through your skin, number 3 is your large intestine, and number 4 is through your mouth. This is basically they're talking about when we are breathing out. We are sending out the water molecules, which is not seen to our eyes. So these are the 4 ways our water is cleared out from our body. See, anything when there is a metabolism, like there will be some wastage, right? Waste products we call it. So how does the waste products has to be taken out? The only mode of transportation is through water. Like from one country to another country, see, only recently in the past 100 years, we all are using flights, right? Plane. Before that, it was only through ship only they used to travel. There was no air travel. So what happens? Through the water only. Water was the main source of transporting things from one country to another country. All the businesses were being handled through the ships. So the same way, the water inside your body also plays a very, very important role in terms of carrying all your food, your oxygen, and carrying all the waste materials. Everything is done with sufficient amount of water, because the moment water goes down, everything starts becoming thick. That means your blood also will become thick. Once your blood is becoming thick, you just imagine yourself, the blood goes to your kidney and there is no water there. Or your kidney will just absorb whatever. See, your body is very intelligent. It will do what it needs to do. If you're drinking less of water, what will happen is your brain will tell the kidney, see, this person is not drinking water. So what you do, shut down the water sending out. That means you will not pass urine, because you need to conserve urine. This is what the body is commanded from the brain. These are all automatic mechanisms. But by chance you drink more water, the water has to come out, isn't it? So automatically you will feel like going to the toilet. So that means the water which is not getting absorbed. So now here is another very, very important situation. You're drinking water and you're passing urine. It's maybe once in a while, it's still fine. You drink more water, you're passing urine. But if your water molecule is not small enough to go inside your cell, that means the cell is still dehydrated, but you are thinking that you are still drinking water. Now here there are few problems you may face. Why? Because like if there are poisoning like lead poisoning, or it can be mercury poisoning, it can be cadmium poisoning, it can be aluminum poisoning. If these toxic metals are there, also your water molecule will not be absorbed inside your cell. Now, other than that, one of the major problem for you and me is the waves. Like now what we are all facing is Wi-Fi, your telephonic radiation, the electronic radiation, your electromagnetic field radiation coming from your electrical appliances. So all these are also hampering the signaling of your cell. Your cell will be moving in a particular wave, and all the external devices, whatever we are using has some waves. Most of the waves are in a square form. It goes up flat and then comes down. This is how most of the waves are there outside. Now these waves, the moment it comes inside your body, it will disrupt your cell signaling, and the cell from one cell to another cell, the talking, that means they will talk together about the problem, or they want to communicate. The cell signaling has to be proper. But these guys, your Wi-Fi, even your blue light radiation for your eyes, all these definitely will have a problem in the transmission of your cell-to-cell signaling. So what happens? Once again, there is another problem we face because of the cell signaling. It is being blocked. Now, how as a human being, on one side, we are loaded with food which is poison. On the other side, your water is fully dirty, murky, and not clean. And on the other side, radiation coming in. And when you go outside, also pollution. So, as a human being, sometimes we all will feel, we'll definitely get frustrated. How much to go on, balancing and balancing and balancing and try to do everything. But whether you like it or not, we definitely have to live on planet Earth. So, no choice. We have to balance whatever best possible. Let's do and give the best to our body in whatever. So, drinking water is not a big deal. So, start drinking the right amount of water and start giving the body the benefit of whatever it needs to do, let it do. But you need to drink sufficient amount of water. Now, here in this picture, your cells as your water, basically water molecule has intelligence and memory. It is intelligent. Now, when you're talking about intelligence, there are a few things Dr. Emoto has already done this. This beautiful experiment he has done. Now, the question is, for example, they did tell a particular name. For example, you're talking about Dr. Prabhu, okay? You say Dr. Prabhu to the water 3 to 6 times or 9 times, you tell Dr. Prabhu, Dr. Prabhu, Dr. Prabhu. Now, that water, you send it to Japan and they will do the testing for you. Can you believe the water molecule will have the same phase as what I have in the water? The question is, how come the water can recognize my face? Now, you can tell any particular name and think of that particular person and then send that particular message to the water. It carries. So this is where your thinking also plays a very, very important role. So please be very careful in what you think about others. If you're thinking negative about anything, especially negative thoughts about other person or setting negative, this one, 100% that is affecting yourselves first, then only the other person's self. But other person may or may not receive it. If he blocks it, you cannot do anything. But you're thinking about that person negativity, definitely it is you who are affected. So start looking at giving a lot of positive, good vibration, good thoughts, blessings, gratitude. All these were very, very important when you live on planet Earth. And this is where you need to practice. Now, this is where religion also came in, be it Christianity or Hinduism or Islamic, or it doesn't matter. What happens is they all teach the same thing about humility, human values, how do we have to live. All these are being told, but why is that we human beings cannot even remember all that? We once again become aggressive, we once again become angry, we once again start talking negative about that person. All this is happening because we have been tuned in that kind of nature and the situation, and we become like that. But it is our bound duty that we all need to come out of it and start living a life for ourselves first. When you start living for your own self in terms of thinking, in terms of doing things, automatically you will do what you need to do. Automatically that in turn will give a benefit to the people surrounding you and to the universe. It's an automatic phenomenon. So especially your body contains 70% of water, so please be very, very careful that you are thinking, your words, what you use, plays a very, very important role in your cell signaling and cell absorption of those vibrations. See, at the end of the day, your thought is a vibration. No? You create a vibration, it goes inside your cell, and then definitely it logs inside. So logging inside your cell, who is the responsible? You are responsible for your own thoughts. You are responsible for the outcome of your thoughts, which you are thinking. And then, of course, you may think, I thought about that particular person only 2 times or 3 times. But over a period of time, when you start thinking negative about any situation, be it your country, be it your neighbors, or be it anybody else, over a period of time, when you start thinking that negative, it gets collected. So all the negative together, of course, it becomes a very, very powerful weapon which is created inside your own body, and then automatically your brain will start functioning according to it, and it will release that kind of vibration. And when you are approaching, or for example, in your journey of life, you think a lot of negative about situations, you will come across people who also talk about the same negative situation, and then you will also come and you will feel very happy that that person also is talking the same. But at the end of the day, whether you gossip or whether you talk to another person in a negative thing, you collect it. You're going to. So if at all, if you have people who are coming and telling you negative or something not unfavorable to you, better block them, clear them up and say thank you very much. And you start giving only positive thoughts to your own self and to the environment. Hydration in one way, see, these are all scientific data which we have now, right from your total mood disturbance to your short-term memory, to your visual, to your reaction accuracy, to your reaction time. All these are everything plays a very, very important role in terms of hydration. If your hydration is good, everything is definitely starts working very beautifully. And lots of scientific studies has been done, and we don't need to go on proving to the people saying that hydration plays a very, very important role. And what we just need to do is drink water. So in that way, on this platform, we have a terahertz water, which is a smaller molecule, which is much more easier for absorption, and then that's how is able to get absorbed, and then the cell will do all the function. So if you're talking about mood disturbance, if you're drinking sufficient amount of water, definitely your mood can be balanced. But of course, please don't ask me, doc, I'm drinking water, but still my mood is not that very good. Now, there are a lot of other issues also. Maybe your hormonal imbalance plays a very important role. Maybe your mindset for that day would have been a little not good, so unfavorable. There will be mood disturbances. So there are so many, even subconsciously, if you're thinking of something or some unnatural, unfavorable things happen to you, automatically you will not be happy about. Definitely you will feel sad. So your mood will be disturbed. So like that, what happens? There might be multiple reasons, but here on this platform, water plays a very important role. So you need to understand that you need to drink sufficient amount of water for you to sustain yourself, to live on planet Earth and balance your journey of life. So definitely with exercise, you need water and salt. Now, once again, I had to talk about exercise because exercise plays a very, very important role. And for the water to absorb also, you have to little bit walk, you have to little bit run, you have to little bit do sit and get up. All these exercises you all need to do. And if given an opportunity, most of us should start doing a regular exercise from an younger age. It's not that only when you're 50, 60s, then you start walking, then you start doing exercise. No, it's better you start earlier. But if you're already old enough, no problem. 50 plus, absolutely don't worry. Do little exercise. Start doing some stretching and make your body a little more flexible. And of course, nutritionally, you need to consume the right amount of vitamins, right amount of protein, right amount of carbohydrates. And out there today, we are all spoiled to the maximum in terms of information. A lot of information. You just type something, it will give you 1,001 ideas of what you need to do. But I would request you, you don't need to go on doing the search from. There are few things from the soul, from your heart, you get connected to that particular person. It can be a doctor, it can be a research scientist. A lot of good scientists who are out there on the YouTube giving a lot of information. So you can just go pick up. Even there, you don't need to pick up all the information, whatever they speak. You don't need to. What you need for your journey of life, just pick up those and start moving forward. For example, if someone is coming and talking about terahertz water, for me, it's very easy. The 12 properties of 12 terahertz water is good enough for you to consume that water. The moment I tell you that it's enough, you want to go and do a lot of research about the product, you want to do a lot of, see, those things is the headache of the company, they have to do it. For you, if at all, if you think that, then you have to ask the company to give you all the details of whatever you are asking. But at the end of the day, when there is a product available, when there are facilities and the good qualities of the water which produced by the device, so your job is to just use it and drink the water and make your life much more easier. Because just drinking water alone is not sufficient. You still need to go for proper vitamins, proper nutritional food. Everything plays a very important role. Saying that, of course, terahertz, in my journey, I have seen one of the best structured water. Very easy, huh? Structured water is through the terahertz resonator was the easiest, and within 3 minutes you can get the water resonated, and after that you drink it. It's the taste is different, the molecular structure is different, and the absorption is different. It's much faster. All these benefits I did see, and that is where, in God's grace and people like you all down there on the group here, I'm able to come until this 99th episode. It is a journey which it happens only with persistence. So I've been persistent in doing this job. And on one side, I would say I was very selfish. Why selfish is because I did that. I wanted to learn. I wanted to read more. So every time I do a presentation, I go read. So it gives a fantastic opportunity for me to upgrade my knowledge. So in fact, thank you all very much for this wonderful opportunity for me to read. So it's an amazing journey, and I feel very proud that I'm able to complete the 99 episode of 1 hour each for the past 3 years. It has been a fantastic journey for me. So it's so beautiful. Now, saying that once again, anybody wants to know about the properties of water, these are the 12 properties of water. Very simple: an antibacterial effect, antiviral effect, antifungal, anti-radiation, anti-aging, high viscosity. This is something very beautiful. When the water's viscosity is minus 680, what will happen is it's much more slippery. It's much more easier for you to get absorbed. And imagine with a 7.6 hertz, it's a very, very small molecule. It's much more easier. That means it's vibrating at a very, very low frequency. It gets absorbed much more easily. The energy is very good. So when you drink itself, it has to give you a lot of positive energy and the linear arrangement of the molecule. So of course your basal metabolic rate also increases. And the good news is you can boil the water. That's good. Then you have a longer shelf life. That means once you resonate, you can leave the water bottle. And we have tried until 1 year also. Still the water is still the same higher frequency and higher this one is all there. And of course, ultimately, it does help in the epigenetic correction of your cellular level. But these are all very, very, I would say, very minute. And then only on a long run, you can see a lot of changes. See, I've been drinking this water for almost 3 years now, and it's good for me. Of course, I don't have any disease, but still, what happens is definitely at my cellular level, there are a lot of positive things happening. But in the time of walking my journey, I do come across a little bit of different situations in life. What I do, correct it when necessary. It's not that just because I'm drinking terahertz water all through my life, I'll be healthy. No, there will be situation and challenges. And at the end of the day, whatever challenges come, you need to do the corrective measurements. You need to do, if you go to see a doctor, please go and see a doctor. And the hydrogen bonding angulation of the water is around 106 to 109, which is called a live water. So saying that this is something very beautiful. The water portal, as I was talking to you, today's topic is all about how do you consume the water, how the nature has given this beautiful water for all of us to drink. And our job is to just take the water, sufficiently hydrate yourself, and then start moving forward in your life. Now, this is something for today's, this one I want to give you. If you can splash water on your face, makes your body go into a swimming mode. Now, what does it mean by swimming mode is when you look at the, what I have put there, what happens is it enters a state called mammalian diving reflex. Diving reflex, when you go and dive into the water, it just, what happens? It slows down your heart rate by 10 to 25%. So this is where whenever you get angry, you splash water on your face. You will calm down automatically because automatically you will calm down. Other than that, when you splash water, this is where when you feel very sleepy and what you need to do is go to the washroom and splash water. And that too, what I would say is splash ice water will be much more awakening for you. You will be awakened much more faster and you'll become alert. So splashing is another very good technique you can follow to awaken your senses and then make your heart rate less by 10 to 25%. Now, this is a clue I'm giving you, right? So if your pulse rate is very high, what you need to just spray water, you will calm down. If your blood pressure is high, just spray water, you should calm down. Basically, you need to calm down in your journey of life for you to move forward. So saying that drinking sufficient amount of water and hydrating yourself and helping your cellular function is the primary goal of every one of you. You all need to do that. But all the while we were all talking about just drinking water. But what I am trying to convey to you all is you need to drink water for cellular hydration. Your cellular health plays a very, very important role. Look into it. Now saying that, looking forward for the 100th one, but I wouldn't know whether it's going to be the next week or the following week. I will keep you posted. So until then, I definitely want to complete this 100th episode. And I did speak to Brian, but anyway, Brian right now is not here, and Ricky is down here. So definitely, I would like to have this 100th episode and complete my 100, and salute every one of you for giving me this opportunity to be here on this platform. So thank you very much, and have a wonderful week ahead. See you until I come for the 100th episode. Thank you, Ricky. Over to you.
Thank you very much for your fantastic sharing, Doctor. So Doctor is going to share his 100 episode on coming Sunday.
No, it won't be the next Sunday. Maybe I will take off because I want to give something different for my 100th episode. So maybe
Oh yeah,
it can be probably in September. I want to do it on September.
September. Okay, so everybody take notes. Yeah. So thank you, Doctor. So I strongly believe that the only knowledge can pass on for years and years, like our ancestor, to keep ourselves healthy, drink sufficient of healthy water such as terrace water, exercise regularly, and stay positive all the time. Thank you, Doctor, and good night, everybody. So we expect your 100 episode in September, yeah? Okay,
Yes,
thank
yes,
you.
yes.
Good night,
Thank you,
everybody.
thank you, thank
Bye.
you. Good night.